Hello, crew. How are we? Welcome to today's live where we are just going to have a little bit of a chat. Not really a teaching moment regarding social media, but I guess just a flip from yesterday. Normally, my first video of the week, I talk about something to do with personal development, personal growth, navigating this weird, wonderful world, of internet marketing and online marketing, and how do we do that as individuals. So yesterday, if you weren't live with us, I announced the top 15 of our August-September round of the 21-day online crew video challenge. So today I'm going to do the sort of personal development, personal growth sort of type video. Firstly, those of you that are live with me here today, thank you for showing up, because it is an hour and a half earlier than I normally am live. And I know there's a lot of you that actually prefer that. Just a note on that, in Australia, our daylight savings kicks in 2 weeks' time. So you'll come back an hour anyway. And then when you guys lose your daylight savings, it goes back another hour. So very shortly, it'll be earlier an hour, and then it'll be earlier 2 hours, coming up. So I'll keep you sort of forewarned, about that. But we're just going to have a little bit of a chat today about what sort of happened to me last week, what insights have I taken for that, what changes I'm going to make, and those kind of things. It's an important discussion to have, because I realize, as somebody who sits here and, shares trainings and insights with you, you guys look at me and, some people will see me as somebody having influence in this space. And it's no good projecting one thing and falling apart behind the scenes. Like, it's all, part of the journey to struggle, the challenges of being in the online world. The fact that it never stops. It's 7 days a week. I'm sitting on my ass majority of the time now. I didn't do that in the corporate world. I got up and I went to meetings, and I would leave the office to, go to a politician's office or meet with somebody or whatever. I was always up and down. It's not like that anymore in this world. So I just want to sort of chat about some of the things and some of the changes that I'm making, which will affect me here with you guys. Okay. So if we haven't met before, my name is Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain. So this is just a little bit of fun, because we have the most amazing online crew community here of home-based business owners and entrepreneurs, people that have got a home-based business and you're trying to bring it online and take advantage of the opportunities that we have in the online world, but navigate all the complications that come with it. Time zones, 7 days a week, never switches off. How do you actually be successful? How do you build an influence online? Some of you will be doing it organically. Some of you will be doing, paid strategies, things like that. So it's different for everybody and how you're going to succeed. But one of the most important things is you. You are the one that's going to make you successful or not. You're the one that's going to get in your way or not. You're the one that's going to allow yourself to sit in overwhelm or get focused and organized or not. Like, at the end of the day, it's not all the bells and whistles and funnels and stuff like that that makes you successful in this, online space, direct sales, home-based business, online marketing. It's you. So if you're not the best version of you, like if I'm not the best version of me, then who am I to you? Those kind of things. So it is a really, really important discussion to have. So I just want to share with you what happened with me, the thought processes that I'm going through, so you can evaluate for yourself what's going on for you. And I choose my words carefully, guys. I did say you can evaluate for yourself. One of the key things that we need to do when things go wrong, things get out of whack, things get emotional or physical or those kind of things, is that you need to evaluate without the emotion involved. Because when we're emotional, you say things you shouldn't do, you do things you shouldn't do, you're not rational sometimes. So you've got to take the emotion out of it and really truly evaluate, okay, what's going on here? What's working well? What's not working well? What changes do I need to make? So you hear me say that often here, is this evaluation piece, is don't ever make decisions when you're in the heat of the moment. Don't have arguments with your spouse or your loved ones and blurt things out without thinking about it, because you'll say things that you regret. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and like truly evaluate, okay, what changes do I need to make? What's going to be good for my family, for me, for my fans, my followers, sort of those kind of things. Okay. So I'll keep it rolling. Again, thank you for those that are turning up live because it's earlier. I'm just conscious of time because I do need to, like, basically the downfall, and you guys might know this when you take holidays. You work your ass off until you go up to holidays. You go on your holiday and then you got to work your ass off when you get back. So what's happened sort of this week is I'm cramming 2 weeks worth of work into one. So I'm gone from, resting a lot and sleeping and looking, just trying to get myself back to normal to 2 weeks worth of work. So I've got my live. I'm on a webinar in just over 20 minutes time for an hour and a half. I'll have less than 15 minutes before I jump into my boot camp in the coaching community. Soon as I finish that, I have to do a live with an update and some training for my network marketing team. And then I've got calls with students later in the day after I pick up the kids from school. Like, it just does not stop. So it's a lot to juggle. So this is sort of what we're talking about. Before we get into that, awesome to see so many of you here. Thanks for jumping on. I'll have a quick look in your comments in a moment. But I do want to remind you guys, especially those that are in the coaching community, I will be back in the coaching community for the day one of the closing sales boot camp at a normal time. So that's 45 minutes after I normally go live, whatever time that is for you. So I'll see you guys in the coaching community. Those of you that got offered a bonus from the video challenge, you've got 24 hours to collect your bonus, otherwise it's gone. So you can get yourself into the coaching community for $1. You can get the whole closing sales boot camp. And if you don't want to stay in the coaching community, you don't have to. So you can get all of that for $1. So don't miss that opportunity, guys. You'd be silly not to. Learning how to go from a conversation to converting it to a sale. How do you handle objections? What are people's buying triggers? What do you say, and what do you do to help close the sale? Really, really important boot camp. So that starts today. And the details are above if you would like to get into our coaching community. But video challenges, those of you that got offered the bonus to go into the coaching community, you've only got 24 hours left to, accept that. And just remember that the branding course started yesterday as well. It's not too late to jump on. We're only a day in. So those details are above as well. Now, I also did want to remind you guys, I am interviewing our joint winners of the video challenge, either, depending on your time zone, Saturday morning or Friday night. Okay, so my last live of this week, which will be Friday night for some of you, or Saturday morning, depending what time zone you're in, I will be jointly interviewing Janet and Megan, who are the joint winners of our video challenge. So please turn up to that live and support these beautiful ladies. And congratulations again to everybody that achieved something in the video challenge. If you missed that video, that was yesterday's video. Okay, so thank you, Susan. About 2 hours from now is the start of the boot camp. That's exactly right, Susan. So it's just over 2 hours from now. Thank you. I just saw that time. Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, I know, Cindy, it's not ideal. Cramming 2 weeks into one doesn't sound like you're getting much rest. Last night I had a great sleep. The night before, if you were on yesterday's live, I didn't sleep at all. So I was a little bit worried about going into this week and everything that I've got on, but I slept really well last night. So hopefully I'll be fine. Just remind me to drink my freaking water. This is what started the problem. So let's just backtrack a bit. The day in the life of is like today, live, straight on a webinar for an hour and a half where I'm talking and reviewing people's Facebook ads to less than a 15-minute break, straight into my boot camp for my coaching community, which could be an hour or two, depending on, things. Then I've got to do the video for my network marketing team. Then I've got to do students, whatever. That's my life. What happens with me is I sit for hours and hours and hours on end like this. I'm deliberately sitting in that. I've just got you can't see, it's too low. I do have a back on the chair that I'm using, and I deliberately sit forward to keep my spine and my neck straight. So I'm quite conscious about posture. But at the end of the day, I'm sitting for hours on end, which is not good. You're not moving, stiff and stuff like that. And I'll talk and talk and talk and talk. And guess what I'm not doing? I'm not drinking. So I can get to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 9 o'clock in the morning for me now. And I would have hardly taken a few sips. Now, for my body, my life, the person that I am, I get dehydrated really quickly. And if I do that for a few days in a row, it's not good news for me. My muscles tense up, and then once it gets into my muscles, it's very difficult to get it out, and it causes tension headaches. So some of you may not have realized the week before last, I was live here for 5 days with a pretty bad headache. I think by day 5, I might have said something on the screen or a couple of times, but I don't generally show it. Some of you will see it because you can see it in my eyes. They're a dead giveaway when I get my headaches and migraines. And I think someone did it. It might have been Gloria. It's like, Helen's got a headache. I think that was on the Saturday. And I just couldn't shift it. When it gets to that stage, I'm too far gone. And that's what happened. So I tried to write it out. I'm a shocker, I'll admit I hate anything to do with, no offense to anybody in this profession. I don't like doctors, don't like hospitals. They creep me out. They don't make me feel comfortable. I think it's due to baggage of my mum passing away when I was young and being in hospitals a lot. Like, they're just not happy memories for me. So I try to avoid, which is not good when you've got something sort of wrong like that. So it got to the Sunday night. That weekend, I was up through the night doing American training, and I'd been up early on the Sunday night. I was doing okay, I thought. And then I had to teach my class at the gym with the headache on the last Monday morning. I thought I was doing okay. When I came home, though, I don't know whether it was something that I did at the gym that made it even worse than it already was, but the pain came in full force. And I was sitting at my computer. I was actually crying. I actually took a photo and posted it in one of the groups saying, man, this is like I'd started a water challenge group and I was a mess. So I went to pick up, just carrying on, day 6, I think that was, day 5 or 6 of the headache. And I just went to the chemist, crying, going, please, I need something more. Like, I'm not a big fan of prescription drugs. They just ruin your gut health and you end up with other issues. So I am pro natural health, but when you get to that stage, you're looking for any kind of sort of solution. And I know the pharmacist there, and she said, Helen, you've got to go to the medical clinic. They can't, is it like that around the world? We can't even get codeine here in Australia without a script anymore. You can't get anything strong here in Australia without a script. So the things that they sell over the counter, they don't even touch the sides with me. And she said, there's nothing I can give you. So she rang the medical centre and said, I've got Helen here, blah, blah, blah. Yep, send her over. So went over there, went in and saw a doctor that did the once over. Like, I was, sorry for the details, but I was in their office throwing up in a bag because the migraine was that bad, in pain, in tears, all the rest of it. And they did all their checks and balances, said, you are majorly dehydrated. Nothing we give you is going to be enough. You have to get to the hospital. So that went from there, rang Paul. They wanted an ambulance. I'm like, no, Paul's around somewhere. So rang Paul. I had the kids in the car, waiting in the car, not knowing what was, sort of going on. And they eventually got out of the car and came to the clinic. It's like, where's our mum? We don't know where our mum is. And I'm like in the office throwing up and in tears and all the rest of it. Anyway, they shipped me off to the hospital, and that's where they got, the drip, the morphine, all the rest of it, and just sort of managed my pain. But I came out of the hospital eventually still with a headache. So the resulting effect for me is I've got issues with my back and my spine. Posture could be some of it. Sitting down for long periods of time could be some of it. I'm meant to be wearing a neck brace. I'm not wearing it when I'm live. I am wearing it during the day when I'm not live, and sleeping. I've got a really bad habit when I sleep. I don't know if any of you guys do this, but I end up on my tummy when I sleep. I actually have a pillow that I sleep with to try to stop me from rolling onto my tummy. So just like a bit of a barrier, but it doesn't work most of the time. But when you sleep with a neck brace, you actually can't twist your neck. if you end up on your tummy because the brace stops you. So this is my life at the moment. I'm feeling pretty good, but I've still got major stiffness in my back and my neck, which I'm being treated for. I won't go into what that is or how I'm doing that, but I do need to sort of look after myself. And I do believe it's a combination of this lifestyle now in the online world, and everything I do is on a computer, which is not good. I have the blue blocker glasses. I have things on my computer screen when it turns 7 o'clock at night, that comes on my screen, and my phone and all those sort of kind of things. But I'm going to take it a little bit further in getting one of those kneeling chairs. Do you know what I mean? When you sit on it and your knees tuck underneath. Paul bought me this great chair, which is a balancing sort of chair, but I'm too short. My legs are too short for it. So I can't actually balance the chair because I need to grow. So that's something I can't solve, growing. So I have to come up with a sort of another solution there. But here's the evaluation piece of it. It's just like, man, if we don't, you guys know this. If you don't have your health, what do you have? If you don't, if you're not there for your family, what do you have? So we all need to evaluate this at various times regarding what we're doing, how hard we're working, how much are you pushing yourself? What are you not doing to look after yourself? Me, it's water intake, it's posture, it's having more breaks, it's, the way I sit, the way I move, doing more exercise, more movement. Like there's lots of things that I need to do more of, that I come in and out of good and bad habits. Can you guys relate to that? Like sometimes you'll be really good with your food or your exercise or getting more sleep or yoga or whatever it is for you, and then something will happen and it'll upset your routine, and then you get out of the routine and you don't feel as good as what you did before. Like these kind of things have to be really non-negotiable. And I say to the crew in my, on our last VIP mentorship call with my VIP students, we're going around with some of the challenges they're having. And I said to them, how many of you have dropped off your routine for yourselves? Like how many of you have stopped that morning routine, which made you feel amazing? And quite a few of them were like, yeah, I've stopped all that. But yet they felt amazing when they were doing it. And we can all relate to that. So it's all about, evaluating different areas of your life, but balancing it, because if you're here for a reason and you're a purpose and you're trying to achieve things, you can't do all self-care and give that as an excuse for you for not growing your business. So you need to evaluate the balance of both. We know this is about balancing life. It's like, how do you achieve the balance? But it's about priorities. And if you say something like, I don't have the time, like if I say that, I don't have the time to exercise, or I don't have the time to look after myself, it's like, no, that's crap. You're just not prioritizing it. If you say to yourself, I don't have time to build my business, yes, you do. You're not prioritizing it. I don't have time to drink water. Yes, I do. Do you guys care if in the middle of a live, I go like that and have a sip of water? No, it really doesn't matter. You've just got to prioritize the things, but balance it as well, guys. I'm not going anywhere in the online world. I'm just only getting started here, and things that I want to achieve and platforms that I want to get into and all the things I want to do, but not at the expense of, who was it that said it to me? Lots of people say it, so it's not new, but it just really stood out to me, whether it was the specialist or whatever. But it's like you might be able to manage it now, but this will come out, and you guys know this with inflammation and things like that. All diseases start from inflammation. Serious issues will come out later in life. One of my biggest fears, this is getting really personal, and I try not to think about this much, but, my nana passed away of cancer. My mum passed away of breast cancer. My sister has just had breast cancer. She's only 18 months older than me. I'm fearful of, when is my turn? Touch wood. It's not a way I should think at all. But the fear sort of comes in. So it's really important when you've got a history of illnesses as well, that we look after ourselves. Now that's my priority. That's not your problem. That's my problem, to bring in more self-care into my routine. So that brings me here. It's like I go live a lot. Like some of you will know that know me well, but I do so much for free. So much. I turn up here 5 days a week, giving you guys training for the most part. for free. The video challenges, which take huge time, effort, and energy, it's all free. And the amount of auditing that we've got to do to check, because people put points in that they shouldn't, they don't do things on days that they shouldn't, it's the auditing side of it. And then I go throw in something like a random act of kindness movement, through September, and give away more prizes and more money and all the rest of it. But that's amazing. And I wouldn't have it any other way, but it is a balancing act. So here's what I've done. This is not major, guys, but this is what I'm deciding sort of for myself. I turn up here and I show up and I say I go live 5 days a week. So what I'm sharing with you now is I'm going to go to live 4 to 5 times a week. If my last live of the week is a Saturday. Now, for me, with my children, that's football during the winter, tennis in the summer. Tennis is about to start in about 3 weeks' time for my boys. That's on a Saturday morning. If you went through that season with me last year, you'll know that we're one of the places the boys play tennis. There's no internet there. So I have to leave my boys' tennis game, drive down the road, or scream home to sort of do my live. And I'm prioritizing this free training over spending the time at my boys' tennis match, where they're going to grow up shortly, move out, and I can be here for you whenever I like. But do you get where I'm coming from with priorities? So what I'm saying to you guys is I'm going to be here live 4 to 5 times a week. I'm not always going to be live 5 times a week, because you know what, guys, if there's something on a Saturday morning that I want to be there for my boys, I'm going to prioritize that. And I think that's important. I think you should all do the same. I think it's just communication, but there'll be times where they're playing somewhere and I don't go, and I'll come live. There'll be things that I want to share with you. There'll be something exciting that's happening in the online world and I'll want to come live. So I'm just giving myself that flexibility to do that. And this is what else I'm thinking. So I'm just saying this out loud, but I'm not sure how this is going to go yet. Some of you will know in my coaching community and in this community that I do these things called boot camps once a month. So if you're in my coaching community, I give out these hours and hours of worth of training for next to absolutely nothing price-wise, but it's there's a new training every month. But I still come live here 5 days a week, then jump straight into that, train for, mainly about 2 hours a day, and it's a lot. So I'm thinking of not going live here for the 3 days that I'm in my coaching community doing my boot camps to ease the load for myself. I just have to, guys, because I can't sit here and be a leader to you guys and not look after myself or smile and be in pain. Like, it's just not good enough. And I take responsibility in that you guys look at me and think she's got it all together. And for the most part, I do. But I don't want to continually suffer with headaches and migraines or end up back in the hospital like I did last week. Does that make sense to you guys? So I not only have a responsibility to myself, but to you guys, and some of you I mentor like personally and in my VIP group. I can't show you one thing and be another. Does that make sense? So I want to be that person that has it all. I want to be that person that has a good, happy, healthy life and build a business online. So that's what I'm changing. That's what I'm managing. And that's what I'm evaluating, because I believe myself and you, we can have it all, guys. We can have it all. You do not have to slave your guts out online to get somewhere. And people are so forgiving. Most of you that are sort of listening now, your feedback, your care, your concern, I got flowers and chocolates and stuff from, it was just amazing. And most of you said, do not come back too soon. We can wait. It's okay. Just make sure your health is your main concern. And it really showed me, if I disappeared for a few weeks, it really doesn't matter. If you like the training that I give you and you trust in me, you'd come back, I think. Like, it really doesn't matter. I think we are our worst enemy. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. And I bet there's a lot of you listening, either live or on the replay, that you put on a lot of pressure on yourself. The interesting thing to me, I'll wrap this up in a sec, guys, because I've got to go anyway, host the webinar, is I still didn't, although I could, I still didn't watch any TV. The TV didn't even go on the week that I was in bed. I was in bed a lot last week. I'm still not that person. I was thinking, you know, what I should be doing, but I did allow myself to rest. I didn't turn the TV on once. I'm not somebody to make excuses. That's who I am. But the other thing it showed me is I was lost without a routine. I was actually felt sort of a bit overwhelmed and lost. I mean, it was very different going from full on to, you know, suddenly you're in bed in a neck brace and you can't move much and whatever. But it really showed me organization, structure, focus. I'm so much more productive when I'm busy. Do you guys find that? Have you heard of that term? Give something to a busy person and they'll get it done. For me, that is so true. When I'm busier, when I'm organized, when I'm structured, when my calendar is full and I've got that purpose, I get so much more done. So without that, and without like knowing what I was doing sort of every day, even though I was resting most of the time, I reckon I wasted a lot of time. The things that I could have been doing although I was resting. I hope that makes sense. That it's not meant to sound silly in that, oh, I should have been working when I was resting. It's just that feeling of overwhelm or not knowing what to do when or whatever. It's all in planning, guys. So I can't share with you how important it is to plan, be really focused, evaluate, have amazing mentors in your corner. Amazing mentors in your corner that you can talk to. I've got amazing mentors in my corner and they've reached out to me. How are you going? What are you doing? What can we help you with? I've got meetings set up where we're going to talk about my whole business structure and whether it's serving me well or not. But I've got mentors in my corner to help me with that. So guys, I can't stress to you enough. You should, or each and every one of you should be working with somebody who is more successful than you. Somebody who's got the results that you want or is just a few steps further than you that can help you through the challenges of overwhelm and focus and balancing life and all the rest of it. You must have amazing mentors in your corner because that's what's going to help you through. Sometimes just that voice of reason, somebody that's already been there, you know, those kind of things. So I've really got to move, but I move. I've got 3 minutes, but I just wanted to share with you guys, I'm fine. It was never really that serious. Like I don't have a disease or an illness or something like that, but it's just something that I need to manage responsibly. Priorities need to shift a little bit, but I'm not going anywhere. But I'm going to allow myself some more flexibility as to what works for me and my family and leading a damn good life. So having more flexibility in you know, just allowing myself not to go live on a Saturday if I want to send my see my boys play sport and things like that. So it's just managing all that stuff, but evaluate out of emotion, get out of your emotion and really sort of sit and assess, okay, what's working, what's not working, what do we do differently? And I've still got to process this. I don't have all the decisions made yet, but I'm not going to sit here and bust my ass and fall to pieces and show you that's what you need to do because it's not what you need to do. We all need to balance this weird, wonderful world and have life, but not at the sacrifice of growing your business. Sometimes you need to pull your finger out and stop watching TV and get more focused, but that's in your planning and things like that. So it is this ongoing balancing act, but work out what your goals are and what it's going to take to get there, but not at the expense of your health or your friendships or your family or things like that. Okay, Cindy, I just saw it. Okay. So I got 2 minutes. I got to go. I haven't seen any of your comments, but thank you for listening. Just thank you for allowing me to share. This is just real. I'm not perfect. I'm still working it out, but I've got big goals for myself, but not at the expense of destroying myself. So I just need to, as you all do as well, but look after yourselves, guys. I will be back live normal time tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Those of you in the coaching community, I will see you back there in just under 9:30, just under 2 hours time after I've jumped on this webinar that I've got to host right now. So I'll see you guys either in the coaching community for the Closing Sales Bootcamp or tomorrow. Okay, bye. See ya.